It is a cool fall evening here in Pasco as we're at Chiawana High School where the Riverhawks getting ready to host the Richland Bombers in girls soccer. I'm Kevin Rotz alongside Jason Quintero. And Jason, these are the two remaining undefeated teams in the MCC, and we are expecting just nothing but great soccer.
It's going to be a tight game. I anticipate a low-scoring affair for sure. It's, for me, like you said, the best two teams in the MCC, the highest level of girls soccer here in our area.
Now, they already have met once this season. They met at Bomber Field. That's a very different field than what they're going to be here. That's grass. This is turf. That's long grass sometimes, slows everything down. What's the difference between the two fields?
For me, and you'll see when we get to the players to watch today, it's going to be a faster game. The ball's going to roll faster. The ball's going to bounce higher. You might see more stuff get in behind in terms of like through balls and things like that. So really, for me, it's going to be about the pace up top that might be the difference maker.
Speaking of those players to watch for the Richland Bombers, you went one of the younger members of their team, Kieran Elfrid.
Yeah, Kieran's only a sophomore, has like state-level track speed to her, can get in behind. She's solid with her left and her right foot. Very aggressive. She covers a lot of ground out there, and has come up with 2 key assists. She assisted that goal that won in overtime against Chiawana earlier this season. Look for her to be an impact player for sure.
Meanwhile, for the Chiawana Riverhawks, a lot of talent on this team. You went with Sawyer Chubb.
Yeah, another similar to Kieran, where getting in behind is going to be huge on this turf. Again, state-level track sprinter, absolute pace for days, and really causes havoc to the back line of her opponents every single game.
Now, you've seen both of them. A lot of these girls, you've been teaching youth soccer, so you know this is going to be really good.
It's going to be great. Both teams solid front to back, good depth on both teams as well. When they go to their benches, the level of play is not going to be dropping off. And both teams relatively healthy. Talking with Coach Sam earlier, he likes where he's at. Of course, a couple early season injuries, but for the most part, both programs pretty healthy right now going into the key stretch of the season. All
right, Chiawana, Richland, one of them will be undefeated after tonight and on top the MCC. You're watching high school girls soccer on SWX. And, all right, it is just about that time. Running just a skosh late tonight, only because they're competing with Chiawana Volleyball also playing tonight. So there's a little, dual action. John Kazir quite busy up here.
Busy parking lot, very full.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got here and found a spot. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Chiawana High School is the place to be tonight in the Tri-Cities.
That is 100% for sure. As we talked about, these two teams both undefeated. In fact, looking back on the MCC website, you have to go back all the way to 2018 to find a year in which either Chiawana or Richland did not win the MCC.
That is an insane stat that you told me pregame that, just dominance for, 7-8 years in terms of these two programs, really setting the standard, really setting the bar high for the MCC and having the rest of the conference chase them year after year.
And they continue to just put out high-quality talent. Before the game, during our newscast, I was talking about the fact that Chiawana has 3 all first-team players returning from the MCC. That's Lindsay Sanchez, Miley Anderson, and the other one was Kalina Barbosa. And then for Richland, they also had 3 all-league players returning: Kylie Kukas, Jocelyn Madison, and Bella Arroyo. And none of those 3 on either side were a player to watch. So that just tells you not only are they returning talent, but they're developing really good talent.
We honestly could have picked 5 different players on each team and been the player to make the biggest impact tonight because they're so deep. We talked about it in pregame as well. When they go to their bench, Kevin, the level of play isn't going to be dropping. It's just going to get more intense because the legs are going to be fresher. So I'm really excited to see not just the beginning of this game, but where we at in the 50th, 60th, 70th minute when we've used 12, 13, maybe 15 players per team and we've gone through benches and the fresh legs and the pace of the game. I imagine both teams are going to be pressing high all over the field. The pace of the game is going to be really fun to watch.
Well, and it's going to be such a dramatic change, it feels like, from Bomber Field. That not I haven't been around the MCC soccer even close to as long as you have, but Bomber Field, they pride themselves on having that grass field and being able to play to that grass field. Mm-hmm. One of the only, I think, 2 places in the entire MCC that has a grass field, Hanford being the other. Yep. Meanwhile, so that's a very different contest. You come here, you have to, Chiawana. Everybody plays on turf fields. So.
Yeah. And it's like you said in the pregame, it is a different game, especially, I don't know if they do it at Richland. I'm not accusing anybody, but I know at the professional levels, you can change your grass and change your dimensions based on how much space you want to have open up, how fast you want the game to be. But yeah, it's a different game for sure. But here we are on turf that's where it's going to bounce, where it's going to roll to, kind of more consistently. But it speeds up the game a ton. Where these through balls, there's pros and cons of that. These through balls, if you overhit it, they're gone. They're going to the keeper. They're going out for a goal kick. But you put a little class on it, a little touch on it, a little backspin on it, and they become a big problem. So you need a little bit more touch from the player playing the through ball. But then but the other side of that is the pace really becomes a bigger factor on turf of the individual players getting into that open space. It's going to be more likely to be available, if that makes sense.
One of the more interesting positions to watch this particular go-round is the goalkeeper, Addie Tensmeyer, her senior year, a returning all honorable mention MCC player, just a huge part of the success the Riverhawks have. Richland's going with the sophomore goalkeeper, MJ Mendez, so it's going to be interesting. You got the experience of Addie Tensmeyer. She's played on this field so many times.
Mm-hmm. And goalkeeper's such an experience-based position where it's the one soccer position where you see guys and gals in their late 30s who are still dominating that position, whereas the field, obviously playing on the field, unless you're Messi, is very, very difficult in your late 30s because it's an experience-based position, and that's no different between a sophomore and a junior and a senior here at the high school level as well, where it's just more reps equals more experience, equals more comfortable kind of mindset and decision-making process for goalkeepers.
We also feature two programs, unsurprisingly, that have some of the best coaches in the MCC, and there's a lot of great coaches in the MCC. But you look at the success that Justin Allgaier has had with Richland and that Sam Nunez has had with Chiawana. He's taken the Riverhawks to the state playoffs here multiple years. Justin has always been right around that conversation, and they are probably love kind of these little chess matchups they get to play against each other.
Just a consistent, like you said earlier, consistent dominance from these two programs with Justin Almquist, Sam Nunez, a real sense of stability in terms of the MCC, where in the last 7-8 years that one of these two programs, everyone else has to come through them to get to district, state, etc.
Sorry to Justin for mispronouncing. I called him a NASCAR driver. That's a rip. I haven't watched NASCAR in a long time, but I do remember the name Justin Allgaier, and I just was right at the top of mind for some reason. Justin Almquist. We're going to do the national anthem now for both teams. Jason, one thing we did not talk about in the pregame, and we've got a little bit of time here to talk about it now, and that is approaching, the season, regular season ends next week. And this, for all intents and purposes, it feels like a game for the MCC title. You got to be able to approach this like any other game, but also with the appropriate amount of energy and excitement to get things going.
It's, I think, just because of the gravity of the game, both these teams know they're the top of the MCC. I don't think you're going to see anybody let off the gas or anything and be focused on next week and all that stuff. I think this is going to be a high-flying, high-paced game between these two squads, with a lot of pride on the line in terms of, regardless of the standings, the score line at the end of this, I think, is going to be a source of pride for either team.
It's actually the first of 2 straight days in which we have a battle of undefeateds in the MCC on SWX. Tonight, Chiawana girls soccer versus Richland girls soccer. Tomorrow night, it's Chiawana football versus Kennewick football. Both these nights feeling like you need to win if you want to win a league title, and then you don't stumble around, after from here on out, but it's going to be a big deal for these two schools.
It's a fun time of year for high school sports across the country. Here in the Mid-Columbia, no different.
Chiawana out in the navy blue uniforms with the white letters and numbers. Richland in the visiting whites with green letters and numbers. And this should be a lot of fun. It's always, like I said, like we had the game. We didn't have the game, but they had a game earlier this year in which it went to double OT. So we'll find out if they've got anything like that up their sleeves for tonight. Riverhawks will start with the ball, and Barbosa will send it down, and it will go out of bounds. So Richland, now opportunity to get position as we just get underway here at Chiawana High School. Richland trying to find some space up the side. They're going down the middle. And she's able to get there. And that's Kylie Kukas trying to find some space in the center. Can't do it. Lindsay Sanchez with the steal. Now they're trying to find it. And that's a handball called against Bailey Anderson. Bailey and Miley Anderson continuing the great tradition. There's a lot of names that I recognize out here. Nicole Mills, a lot of opportunities for Chiawana. The younger sister of Taylor Mills. So Richland now is maybe Jocelyn Madison out there trying to keep it for the Bombers. Can't. So Chiawana has it down the far left-hand side. They've got 3 on about 5 right now. Find Bailey Anderson, and it is cleared away. That done by Mackenzie Thoney. So Chiawana on the attacking half of the field. Just about 90 seconds into this contest. 2 40-minute halves. And then, if there's a winner, the game's over. If there's not, we go to overtime. And if the overtime can't do it after 2, we go to a penalty kill, or penalty shootout. Richland boots it up. Trying to find Kieran Elfring up front, but handled there by the Riverhawks. Chiawana. You talked about those through balls, and you tried to get it through, and a whistle blows as Arissa Upton goes to the turf.
And in a game like this, where you anticipate a close matchup, a lot of times the difference are these little set pieces here that seem a bit innocent here as we get a replay of the foul, and the opportunity here is Upton getting fouled. And it seems kind of innocent here being so far from goal, but a nice little service here into the box, and this could be a dangerous play. Moments like this early in the game could be the difference of the outcome here just 3 minutes in.
So it will be Kalina Barbosa just outside the 30-yard line of the football field. 35-ish yards from goal, and that will go wide. MJ Mendez will hand it off for the... In fact, they're going to go with some pace on getting things going.
Yeah, I like the up-tempo play here from both sides, getting things going.
The key about being up-tempo is you got to maintain possession. As Chiawana takes over the ball. This is maybe one of the better, if not best attended soccer games you'll see in the MCC.
You can already hear, probably get on the broadcast too. Richland has brought some serious student section action over here and down to our right.
Yeah, they were wearing jerseys backwards.
I got the info. It's there they are, frat night theme.
Oh, it's a frat night.
Night theme.
Oh, okay. There
Boys
they are.
going crazy.
They were asking if they could be on TV, and I said, "Watch that camera right there. If you see it pointed to you, then go fun, have some fun." But yeah, I was like, "Why are you wearing it?" They're like, "See what team we root for?" And I went, "The team's on the back." They said, then they gave me some word that I didn't understand, and I was like, all right, never mind. It'll be Lauren Lindley throwing it in from the side for Richland. These two 6-0 in MCC play. Kamaikan 5-1 right behind him. So there's some definite separation, definitely top-end talent coming out of the MCC. There'll be another Richland throw.
The one downside about playing at this facility here is the ball goes that way out of bounds. It's so long to get the ball back in.
Yeah, there's nothing that stops it over there.
Going into the dark abyss over there to find the ball.
Kind of changing possessions back and forth here for a few seconds, and now Richland will recollect. Go down that right side. 2-on-4 for the Bombers. Centering pass. Unable to find the foot of anybody in white. Now they've got it. Chiawana in a little bit of trouble as Kieran Elfring, I believe, tried to spin and get something a little off balance. Nice stop there by Addie Tensmeyer. On the other side, Bailey Anderson.
Just a little bit of a frantic start here, Kevin, with maybe nerves, maybe anxious, maybe excitement, but sometimes these games here are better when players calm down a bit, when they're tired, actually, more in the game, as we had a service here.
Finally, Anderson crossed the box. Not able to connect on the other end.
But some really uncharacteristic giveaways here early in the game, both teams.
Now down the left-hand side, trying to find Kylie Kukas. Down the left-hand side, she's got some space. Two defenders, though, in her way. She'll trying to get it into the center. Well defended there by the Riverhawks. So now down the right-hand side, Sawyer Chubb, our player to watch. Gets by the defender. Now it's turning into a bit of a track meet, as we talked about. And nice defending there by Richland.
Both her and Arroyo, the defender, chasing her so fast, very quick athletes. Chubb did a really good job there as well, not wasting that service, getting her hips around and wrapping her inside of her foot around to put in a dangerous area in the box.
That's something I'd imagine that you're teaching them pretty young. You're trying to get them to learn that just don't kick it nowhere.
One of the most frustrating for me as a player of things was making the 40, 50-yard run into the box, and then the player just shanks it out of bounds for a goal kick, and you have to run 40, 50 yards back. And maybe it's just intelligent laziness, but I hate it. That's 100 yards. I've done the math. It's 80 to 100 yards, Kevin, that I just ran because
for no reason.
So, yeah, as a coach, really drives me nuts when we do all this work to get in the corner and not serve, but Chubb did a great job putting it in a dangerous area for sure.
Now, Miley Anderson heads it into the box, and well defended there by MJ Mendez. Neither team has had a real threat on goal as of yet in the first 7.5 minutes or so. So it gets centered there, just above the head of Elfring, but she's able to head it down after a bit of a miss-hit by Chiawana. Well, Nicole Mills finds some space. Marissa Upton now down the left-hand side. And again, attacking, starting to find some space, some running lanes down that left-hand side. And it'll be a Chiawana throw. My old man eyes don't have the distance that they used to, and I'm kicking myself now for forgetting the binoculars. As Evie Espindola will throw it in for the Riverhawks. Hands it back to Mills. I was looking at the state's RPI, and Chiawana 10th, Richland 11th. And it's starting to feel as we get into the final week or so of the regular season that it's a number that gives us a little bit of an idea of who's good and who's not.
And I think you have Wenatchee up at 5 there as well. And it seems like those at the 4A level, those three teams are going to be the ones that have the best chance to do some damage here as Elfring dances on the ball here, unfortunately. A little bit too much dancing, not enough going.
But didn't fool enough. Did not have enough deception.
Well, solid, really patient defending there by Barbosa.
Andy Bunger will throw it in. And after a couple of hits, it's going to go out of bounds again. As the student sections were on opposite sides of the same bleachers. And it continues to be, neither team seems to have possession for super long. We've had a couple of nice runs down the sidelines, but neither one of them.
A lot of times it almost looks like a prettier game when you're 20 minutes into it and these players get a little bit gassed and have to play with their brains more than their body because we have just a lot of kicking kind of random places here. Chiawana, one decent spell of possession here, and this giveaway is just like that there, where it's kind of like hopeful more than actually connecting.
Elfring, cross, trying to find space with Abby Harris in the middle. She let it go, I think, thinking it was not intended for her. So it'll be Chiawana now with the opportunity down the sideline going to Sawyer Chubb. Well defended by Arroyo. She'll kick it off, and it'll be off of Chubb, so Richland throw.
Great shoulder-to-shoulder challenge by both those players there.
A little over 10 minutes gone here in the first half. Arroyo with the throw. Trying to find Kukas out wide, but again, sort of bouncing around off a few different feet. Now it's going to be kicked down a little bit into the Chiawana defense. I'll get another opportunity here as Bunger will have it over on the right-hand side. Trying to find Anderson in the middle. Bailey to Miley on that left side. Well, being defended by Lindley. And the kick it. Goal! Henderson from distance gets it to go with her first strike to the Chiawana Riverhawks.
Absolute banger of a goal, far post. Defender just gave her a yard too much space here. Puts it on her right foot, curls it in with the inside of the foot, inside of the right foot, driven. Just a step off here. You don't need a full step to get your shot off. You just need half a step. Slides it by her knee cap and into the goal.
Great job by Miley Anderson to cross over, going down that left-hand side, crosses to the right, and finds just enough space. Anderson, first team All-MCC last year. One of these huge primary scoring threats for this Riverhawk offense. So 1-0 Chiawana. 12 minutes into the contest. So Richland looking for an answer. And this is where I'd imagine Justin Almquist is telling the team, hey, we got to, you know what, it's early, it's just one. We got to keep playing our game, not get overly concerned about what's happening. No panic needs to happen.
A lot of time left in this game, and you kind of wonder, because if you look, in the full field view here, a lot of times they're just leaving Elfring alone up top, 1v3, 1v4, and so these wingers have been tucking in here with Kukas and the right-sided player as well, and you have to wonder if they're going to start pushing players forward, open up the game a bit, or stay more in kind of this 4-5-1 situation and just look to counter.
And I imagine every coach has their favorite setup, and probably a favorite setup based on what they're doing in terms of, okay, we're playing this team, we can do one of two or three things.
Sure,
I like this better.
And good teams have that kind of in their repertoire where they don't always play the same way the whole time, every time, and they can change things based on, even the weather or the field conditions or the opponent. And we get another good look here, and Anderson putting it back on her right foot, just driven. Great pace on that ball far post.
Well, one of the fun things that was a very subtle thing she did is she took a half step like she was going to dart down that left side and try to beat it with speed, and then sort of, but was able to keep control of the ball and crossover, and that opened up that lane. Anderson again. Now down the right-hand side, looking to cross. We'll send it in, and it'll go through for a goal kick. So Miley Anderson. Chiawana on the board first. Richland trails 1-0. Riverhawks trying to take care of business. Richland now looking for some space on the right side, back to the center. That's where they'll find Thani. Over to Kukas, and she has to go meet the ball. A little bit of a give and go, though. Thani down the left-hand side. Trying to save it from going out of bounds. Tries to get it ahead. Ends up in the feet of Chiawana. 15 minutes gone by here in the first half. 25 to go in our first substitution of the night. As Richland will see if they can find a little bit of magic, maybe. The Rocks throw it in. Hit it away by 2 or 3 different players. A couple of Bombers, now a couple of Chiawana Riverhawks. Sanchez to Chubb in the middle, but didn't get a real clean hit on it. As Elfring will now have it. She's got a lot of defenders between her and the other side, though, and it's Nicole Mills who takes it away. But Richland back in possession, looking for help. And a bit of a miscommunication between the Chiawana defense. The Riverhawks, though, able to collect it again, though. Arroyo too firm on that touch. So now Chiawana. Bailey Anderson not able to keep possession, so it'll turn over to the Bombers. Richland looking. Abby Arsanto. Ball knocked out of her feet, and be a Richland throw. Lindley on the sideline there in front of the Richland coaching staff. Bombers trying to find any sort of attacking options that they can. As Thani will go over to Kukas. Kukas gonna looking at Arroyo, but Arroyo is coming from too far away. Chiawana able to clear it. Okay. Richland gets possession back. And then a little bit of a deceptive steal there. Chiawana just snuck up out of nowhere. As Miley Anderson was looking for Chubb down the right-hand side. Instead, it will go out of bounds off of Richland for a throw. Addie, while you're over there, you can say hi to the camera. So, Riverhawks will get another throw down here on the sideline. It doesn't feel... you're more the soccer expert than I am, but it doesn't feel particularly organized.
It's very frantic. It's very...
Richland does not feel very
chaotic
organized right now.
And a lot of giveaways, a lot of silly just kicks from both teams, to be honest. There hasn't been very many just really solid, sustained possessions where you're talking more than 3 or 5 passes, maybe switch the field in the same possession. Very frantic clearances, a lot of missed clearances that aren't actually clearances as well from both teams.
Yeah, the Chiawanas, the one benefit Chiawana's had is they've had, it feels like 3 or 4 times where they've been at least able to run down the sideline with the ball and see if they can get a centering pass. Bombers still looking for that opportunity. Let's do another Chiawana throw. Addie Bunker again will throw it. Trying to find Anderson in the middle. Richland, though, able to connect with it first. Elfring got a runner down the right-hand side. Abby Harris. Ball taken from her, though. Great defense by the Riverhawks. So Chiawana, you talked about that. Not too many possessions in which there were a lot of passes. And this is the closest thing we've had, and then they lose control of the ball and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Lindley on that right-hand side for the Bombers. Taken away, though, by Nicole Mills. Yeah, there's definitely seems to be, it's a frantic. It's hard to kind of grasp what's going on around you if you're not able to see it because you're just trying to look so quickly. As Mendez scoops up the not particularly challenging shot as Kukas will look for some space down the left-hand side. Now she's going to cross it over to the other side of the field. And that'll be cleared away. But Richland back on the attack. Now they don't have numbers particularly as Nicole Mills. Great job from her. Yeah, but Richland's not throwing a ton of numbers forward. And so they seem to be at least a numbers disadvantage most of the time on the offensive end.
And really what they're looking to do is find Elfring's feet, have her play back to goal as like a target forward, play off her feet, and then get numbers involved, which has been successful a few times for sure. She's found Kukas. She's found a switch over to the right-hand side as well.
Well, it'll be Lindley throwing the ball in again for the Bombers. Quick conversation happening with the head official. And Richland not able to keep possession. Down to Bailey Anderson on the left-hand side. It'll be gently knocked out of bounds for a Chiawana throw as we are now in the second half of the first half. Chiawana right there next to the Richland bench. Toss it in. Bounces over, and you talked about that too. About a little bit higher bounces you can expect. And I'd imagine with the colder temperatures, the ground is a little bit more firm as well, the turf.
It does, and the ball gets harder as well. And make sure you're brave when you go to head the ball, especially the big, heading a punt or something like that.
Yep. The ball bouncing over the head of Elfring into the waiting feet of Kalina Barbosa. You said she's going to, is it Idaho, you said?
Yeah, University of Idaho. Signed to, or committed to play there.
Not surprising.
Very solid presence in the back, very calm.
Sanchez has it in the middle now. Back things out to Mills. Good hustle there by Harris, not able to dispossess Chiawana. Been able to at least slow things down, get Chiawana to back off. And then a pass that I'm not sure who that was intended to, maybe to Mills in the center, but it ends up on the feet of Kylie Kukas. No hesitation, crossover, and then she's got it in the box, and Abby Harris was right there. Great job by Tensmeyer, her first real challenge of the night. Remains 1-0 Chiawana. Chubb will boot it down the field to the center. Angela No able to collect it. Jordan Davis will back things up. Now they'll get over to on the left-hand side to Madison. Out of that middle part of the field. Now trying to find Elfring. See if she can outrun the defender. She could not get there, though, before Tensmeyer.
And those are the exact balls I was talking about that can work on a Richland high field for sure, but unless you put some backspin on it, it's always going to run to the goalkeeper, especially a vertical through ball.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty big challenge throughout this, as Richland plays half their games on the home field, so
and where you're probably going to have more success. The play before that, a minute before that, was that Kukes long diagonal ball in the box into the back post 1v1. I think it was Abby Harris on the other end of that fighting with Tensmeyer for the ball. But that's going to be a lot more successful on this surface, at least, that long diagonal into a 1v1 than this vertical through ball. That's going to be very, very tough to be successful.
Chiawana throw here after the ball gets knocked out of bounds by Richland. And another opportunity, but this time on the offensive half of the field. It'll be Bunger again. She's going to throw, find Miley Anderson in the center. Not able to control it, then able to get it back on her feet, though. It'll be cleared away. Barbosa. And hesitation and stop, and then nice job. Nice pressure by Kieran Elfrey. No free opportunities. Toss it into Kukes. Madison trying to go to the other side of the field. Chiawana temporarily was able to stop everything. The ball right now seems to have a little bit of a life of its own. Both teams having a hard time corralling it and getting it to do what they want it to do. Now down the sideline, Anderson.
Looks like we have it coming back for a foul here near half field.
So the whistle blows and it'll be a Chiawana free kick from well back. So Barbosa will set it up at the 46-yard line. That's where she'll boot this one, see if she can find a navy blue jersey on the other end. And goes into the box, bouncing, and MJ Mendez watches it, handles it very nicely. She's going to try to get Richland going down the left-hand side. Chiawana, though, he slows things down when Nicole Mills able to stop, and we'll get a Richland substitution. Abby Arsanto will step off. Coming on will be Mackenzie Thorny. Richland, Chiawana again, continuing to just knock around a little bit, sometimes off of each other, sometimes to each other. As it'll be Bailey Anderson trying to get one centered. Couldn't quite get enough of a turn. Quick movement there. Richland going to go fast. They roll under the 13-minute mark here in the first half. Bunger now sends it down, finds Chubb with the header. Trying to center it with that header, but get enough on it. So instead, Madison. Richland with the ball. Kukes down the left-hand side. Not able to connect with Elfring, but Arroyo able to clear things out for the Bombers. So now Chiawana again on that counter attack, just a little bit behind Sawyer Chubb. And it will be a Richland throw, and Chiawana will make a substitution. Coming into the lineup, also not on my roster sheet, but I believe it's Kelsey Waite. Now Elfring trying to battle on the offensive end for it. We'll back things up to Madison. Lindsay Sanchez, though, steps in back. Great physical battle between Madison and Sanchez. Richland able to maintain possession. Now Chiawana able to get it back. Trying to find Bailey Anderson down the left-hand side. She's able to corral it, but she's got a Richland defender just right in her hip pocket. So Chiawana now with the throw from the far side. Get it in. And there's going to be a foul, and that's going to be in a prime spot for Chiawana.
Very dangerous area here for Chiawana, trying to add a second one.
It's Miley Anderson, who was trying to go up and get it, and couldn't see who it was, but it almost looked like one of her arms was sort of being held down, or she just couldn't quite get it up where she wanted it. And that'll be just outside the 10-yard or the 18-yard box. Oh, she gets pushed from behind. That's where that whistle comes from. So now Richland will have to set up their wall. Miley Anderson looking for her second of the night. That one is over the crossbar. We remain 1-0. 10 minutes remaining. Well, plus probably a minute or two of stoppage time. Not a ton of time in this first half that we've had to be dead. And Jay Mendez will put it down. And so everybody kind of gets in their spot. Passes it to Arroyo and then picked by Chubb. Well, Bailey Anderson has it and he's trying to get a through ball to Miley, but stopped, seeing a couple of defenders there. So it'll be Riverhawks now, a little bit further away with the ball. Over to Bunger on the right-hand side. Now to Mills, playing that kind of center back. Center mid as the Chubb will now try to get past the defender. Well defended though. There's Griggs there. And then good help defense from the Bombers. Now on the far side, Kate Perry with the steal. She's got to catch her feet a little bit there and now back things up. And it will be, it's going to be a Chiawana throw after all. So the Riverhawks toss it in. But don't have it for very long as Lindley with the steal. Now Chiawana, they've got some opportunities here. Anderson trying to cross it, can't get a clean shot on it, and then sort of wanders its way through the midfield through a bunch of players. Lindsay Sanchez has it now. She'll back all the way up. Not the 35. Riverhawks. It's kind of fun too because I think the Richland fans are to our right down below us.
We're getting stereo service. Right ear, left ear.
Chiawana fans to our left, down in the Riverhawks stands.
Clowns to the left, me jokers to the right.
And I am just stuck in the middle with you. Madison has it for the Bombers. Kind of work things up front. Finds Elfring, but she's going 1-on-2. And a whistle blows. Foul on Chiawana. The referee standing at the 48. We'll see. Get the ball moved back that way.
Don't worry, we have about 400 refs in the stands here.
Will be Lindley to kick the ball from near midfield. Over to Royal on the left-hand side. Gets past one defender into the middle. Left-handed kick goes just wide. Best opportunity for the Bombers so far. Kukas not able to complete the job, but they're able to actually get a pretty clean shot on it.
Definitely, I like the idea of playing wide there quickly by Richland, getting Arroyo in a 1v1 situation, is able to deliver a ball on top of the box and get her teammate a chance.
Chiawana loses it to the Bombers. And ball bouncing around. It'll be Miley Anderson down the left-hand side. Chubb calling for it in the middle. Off of Mendez. Nice job by the sophomore goalkeeper.
Really good job to keep that in bounds and not give up a corner kick as well. Smothering that rebound quickly. Well struck here with power, left-footed, and you see the little rebound, quick cat-like reflexes to keep that ball in bounds by Mendez.
Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Chiawana throw. 5.5 remaining here in the first half. Bailey Anderson will go down the left side. Well defended there, though, by Lindley. And then a couple players go down. Both seem like they were equally culpable in that situation. Now it's down to Bailey Anderson, who will work across. And then a wide attempt there by Miley. And
Similar to her goal there, about 7 yards deeper though on that one, but just a little inside-out move. Gets off a quick shot. A lot of this is similar to basketball, where how quickly can you get your angle, how quickly can you get your shot off. She does a really good job of releasing her shot quickly under pressure, just getting half an angle.
Again, Mendez will start things short, keep possession. That's how I play video game soccer. I don't ever like the long boot. I always like to keep possession. I don't win, but it doesn't mean that I haven't changed my strategy yet. As Griggs back there, I'll bounce it down the right-hand side as it rolls out of bounds. So, just a reminder, in case you are joining us or watching high school soccer for the first time, the clock will stop at 0, or right around, or not at 0, at 2 minutes. 2:00. Does that make me any better? Right around the 2-minute mark. And at that point, the time will be officially kept on the field by the head referee. That way we don't have to have a side official that's keeping track of stoppage time or anything like that. Madison booted up. Finds a foot of Bryn Gomer. But Chiawana able to get possession back. Now get it up. Miley Anderson going to try to let Chubb. This Chubb Arroyo matchup has been super fun this whole time. Chubb is trying to figure out how to get around her and just hasn't been able to do that.
Great matchup there. Two athletic players.
So, Redstone with the goal kick. Will be Gomer with the ball, and then the whistle blows. So Richland maintains possession with the free kick. Madison trying to find Harris on that far right-hand side. She's able to keep it in. Trying to kind of toe poke it a little bit down the sideline, but well defended there by Chiawana. Now Kukas has it. Doesn't have numbers. So she'll pass it off to Madison. Now Richland's starting to bring some players ahead. Into the center. Kukas not able to get a clean pass away. Instead, it'll be Chiawana now 2-on-4. Anderson, now Chubb will join to make it 3-on-5. Chubb trying to split the defenders and can't.
We were just talking about that matchup between Arroyo and Chubb, and just about 13 seconds earlier, both players were within 20 yards of the other goal in the attacking phase. Chubb chasing Arroyo down on her overlapping run, and then Chubb takes off this way, and Arroyo chases her 80 yards that way, and just gets there by half a step to deny the angle there on Chubb getting that through ball.
Well, so like you talk about it, some of the similarities to basketball, and sometimes in basketball you'll see one player gets that job to defend the one superstar on the other side. As Bailey Anderson, not that there aren't multiple superstars, but there certainly seems like Chubb and Arroyo are going to be battling all the night long. Mills has it in the middle. Now it'll be Arroyo able to clean things up. And Richland now trying to get on the attacking end of things. Kukas. Ball will end up in the feet of Madison. And again, back and forth, back and forth. These final waning moments of the first half. Bailey Anderson. A light touch out to Miley, and then they'll give and go look here as Bailey will then get the ball knocked out away from her. So what you want to throw here, again, as we're in the final moments of the first half. Perhaps a last opportunity for the Riverhawks to score on this side of the field. Get it in. Sanchez going to try a little low roller. Not a huge amount of pace on it, and MJ Mendez up to task. But at half, it is Chiawana 1 on a Miley Anderson goal. Richland nothing. Take a look at the highlights when we come back. You're watching high school girls soccer on SWX. Future soccer player, perhaps?
He's got a golf club.
He does have a golf club, though, so maybe a future golfer. As we're here at Chiawana High School, Riverhawks lead this one at half, 1-0 over the Richland Bombers. The last two undefeated teams in MCC girls soccer. One walks away from this in, well, the catbird seat, as they say, for an MCC league title. Here are your first half highlights as Kalina Barbosa trying to going from distance. And in fact, Chiawana seemed to have much more of the scoring opportunities through much of that first half, and then it was this Miley Anderson strike that was able to find the back of the net, make it 1-0. Riverhawks, Addie Tensmeyer able to make a stop there, and then that was perhaps the best shot for Richland. Kylie Hukas off the left foot. And Mendez, nice stop there in goal. And less difficult stop, I think, on that one for Lauren, on the Lauren Sanchez shot. But that's how we get to 1-0 Chiawana on this one. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the rest of the week on SWX and talk some strategy for the second half. You're watching high school girls soccer on SWX. Welcome back into Chiawana, where it's 1-0 Riverhawks. The Richland student section there wearing their jerseys. Though one of them is wearing it normal, most of them are all wearing their jerseys backwards. Seeing a lot of variety of teams being represented. Coming up on SWX, if you'd like to watch a replay of this one, and it's been pretty good competitive soccer game. That comes up Sunday night, 10 o'clock Sunday night. Tomorrow night at 7, Chiawana and Kennewick. Evan Davis and Craig West on the call with the two final undefeated football teams for the MCC. And, they're going to be the number one seeds, it would appear, in a 4A and 3A when it comes to the district crossover playoffs. But who's going to win the MCC title? That coming up from Lamson Stadium. On Saturday, the rivalry that didn't happen for quite a number of years after Idaho moved up to division, or the FBS, I guess is what they call it now. Idaho Vandals at the red turf of Eastern Washington. I expect my Eagles will do nothing but be kind hosts and let Idaho walk all over them in the way they do that. On Sunday, it's the first Gonzaga exhibition game of the season. They're going to play Northwest University. That gets going at 2 o'clock. Next week, on Tuesday, it's Kennewick and Southridge volleyball. Lainey Erickson and I are going to be calling that one out at Southridge High School. And then next Friday, our third to final football game of the year, Davis and Ike, that great rivalry out of Yakima up at Zetful Stadium. I was talking today, we're going to meet and make an official announcement in the next few days. Our last scheduled football broadcast is, or our second to last scheduled football broadcast is on a Halloween night, or was scheduled for Halloween night, Richland and Kamiakin. That game has been shifted to Thursday the 30th, so we'll see what ends up happening. We got to sit down and figure all that out. Take a timeout. When we come back, it's second half action. Chiawana leads 1-0. Watching high school girls soccer on SWX. Gold chain goes on. Looking good. A couple of the guys were telling me they had ties and they thought they should be on TV. Right. I'm ready to go. You could interview me. They didn't tell me what I should interview them about.
Were they going to give you the news and the weather?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Here you see Kieran Elfring as Richland will start with the ball as they change directions.
I think that's the hokey pokey she's doing. Not sure.
She's doing it with Abby
Put your
Harris.
right foot in. Put your right foot out.
And look down and there's Abby Harris mirroring that movement. So
maybe it's a super duper secret play.
They all seem to have the same kickoff play. You boot it back and you boot it deep. And then you get to playing. Sanchez will have it for Chiawana. They'll see if they can score this other direction, though. Arroyo. Now she's moved from the left side to the right side.
She switched over here to the right.
Sanchez. Nice little footwork there. I guess if it's both feet, is it feet work?
Sure.
Trying to find Bailey Anderson a little bit deep, but not able to handle that. Instead, it'll be Sanchez who's trying to split a couple of defenders. Nice job by Arroyo. Madison finding some space in the middle. Well defended, though, by Arissa Upton.
She's a player that's improved tremendously defensively, I think, in the last year or two. Really taking pride in her tracking back and her tackling.
Now Richland going to try to get the ball up the field. Elfring going one-on-one with Barbosa, able to keep it in. Now she just has to beat 2 or 3 defenders to it. And got there about the same time the ball gets knocked out of bounds.
Both of those really strong players. You see Barbosa kind of grabbing her hip here, but that was a clash of 2 very strong athletes running full speed. Elfring just causing chaos here on the back line of Chiawana.
So Madison, Jocelyn Madison will have it. Richland threw it in. Now they'll try to get it to Arroyo down the right side. Nobody really with her right now. She's got some space. She's going to look across the field. Richland already looking significantly better as they try to get it to Kukas on the other side. Already looking much better in this second half. A little more put together, as they would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that all started from a throw-in there where they switched the field over, sucked Anderson and Sanchez and Chiawana over to the other side of the field, came back to Arroyo where she's free over here. And you like to see possession with a purpose that goes to new space and makes new space other places and go playing in that space. And that's what you've seen already here from Richland, more so than you saw it in the first half from them.
And so Richland, yeah, they've had the ball. I mean, it's only been a couple of 3 minutes here, but they've certainly had a significant amount of possession thus far. Chiawana, though, has it. Miley Anderson, nice little move there, but Arroyo back. Bella Arroyo.
Ooh.
Puts it into the middle, though, where Chubb doesn't get the cleanest attack. So Mendez will be able to clear that out. Didn't get a lot of it. And it's a handball on Miley Anderson.
Oh, might get a yellow here for kicking the ball away.
And that's a delay of game yellow right there. Miley Anderson frustrated. So not only does she get the yellow, she has to come off the field.
It's a unique Washington high school rule there, and really self-inflicted there. Where I know she's frustrated with the handball, but no need to pick up a yellow for no reason. It changes the way you play when she does. She's obviously going to come right back on pretty soon, I bet, but changes the way you play. You have to be a little bit smarter, less aggressive going into challenges. Can't afford to be a half-second late on challenge and pick up a second yellow.
Yeah, probably have a quick conversation with Sam Nunez and be ready to come back out. And maybe grab some water, get a little bit of a breather. Zarsanto trying to collect the ball for Richland. Little bounce around, find the feet of Kieran Elfring. Trying to get it to Harris down the right side, well defended by Chiawana, but Arroyo now steps in. And Richland more in control this second half so far. But it's Chiawana with the 1-0 lead. Elfring was trying to lead Kukas. He had a long way to go, though, from over on that side. So it'll be out of bounds, any Bomber throw. So again, Lauren Lindley will toss it in at Richland. Santo in the middle, but dispossessed by Lindsay Sanchez, but right to the feet of Arroyo. So the Bombers able to maintain possession. Back out to Jocelyn Madison, now to Kukas, who's on the right side this time. Take a step back, step past, trying to find some space. Kylie Kukas, little spin move, now using the physical strength that she has, and earns a corner kick. Addie Bunger, well defended there, but all she could do was knock it out of bounds for a corner.
Yeah, good patience by Bunger there. Thought she was going to get beat on the spin move, but good recovery step to catch up, and well done by Kukas as well to go and win that corner.
So it'll be Kieran Elfring initiating things from the corner. Bombers in white in the box. As Elfring will send it across. That is well long. Ends up on the feet of Lauren Lindley, and she's thinking about trying to take a shot at it. And still in a dangerous opportunity. Now a kick and nice stop. That was Bryn Gallmer. But Addie Tensmeyer up to the task. Keeping a clean sheet here into the second half. But again, Richland looking much better this second half as Miley Anderson back in the lineup, running down the left-hand side, going up against Arroyo. Nice little crossover, but a little too firm. And it's going to be a goal kick. So Richland avoids the set piece. Seven minutes gone here in the second half. Riverhawks lead by 1. And the Bombers lose possession. Nicole Mills. Back everything up. Find the feet of Maya Garcia Thompson. Now to Barbosa in the back. Richland. Ball kind of just everybody can watch and wait for that ball to come down. As Arroyo will try to find something down the right hand side. Espindola though is there for Chiawana. And just back and forth we go. Just right when one player seems to have possession, the others take it. Now Bailey Anderson down the left-hand side. Back to Miley. She's got all kinds of room down that left-hand side to find a cross, and I think maybe lost her balance on her way over there. So it'll be a Richland goal kick. As MJ Mendez will bring it up. Set it there at that line. And get up to Abby Harris. And then they're going to, just a little bit of a careless mistake there. And Chiawana trying to attack quickly. Arroyo, though, one-on-one with Miley Anderson, whose attempt to center goes a little off the mark. Great defense there, I think, by Arroyo caused that. So another Richland goal kick. As this game goes along, Jason, how, if anything, do you change for your Justin Almquist if you're not able to find that equalizer?
For now, for the next time, time being of probably 20 minutes or so, I like where you're at. You've shown already, your players have, that they're willing to possess a bit more than they did in the first half. There's still some careless giveaways, stuff out of bounds, and things like that. But for now, nothing. Last 5 or 10 minutes, you might want to play more direct, throw numbers forward, take a chance. There's really no difference losing 2-0 than there is 1-0. So maybe no more numbers up top the last 5 or 10 minutes and more direct play.
Abby Harris will clear it out of bounds for another Chiawana throw.
you've seen Arroyo get forward a few times and change the numbers in the midfield, and maybe more from Lindley on the other side getting forward and really putting Chiawana under pressure, making them track back some.
Abby Harris really trying to find Kieran Elfring in a sea of blue. She was surrounded on, I believe, all four sides. As Evie Espindola, who started the game for the Riverhawks, so clear it out. Chiawana seemed to have survived and rebalanced themselves a little bit after Richland was able to make some pretty nice moves, a little bit more possession. Now Chiawana on the attacking half of the field, trying to find some space to Chubb down the right-hand side. She's got to run the ball down. I don't know that she got there.
She did, kept it in bounds there and ended up with an opportunity.
Yeah, what a hustle there by Sawyer Chubb. Unfortunately, it goes out for a goal kick, but you can just watch her hustle.
Great effort there, keeping that in.
And then
Anderson with an opportunity.
Yeah, and Bailey Anderson not able to finish it. Well, Sanchez for Chiawana, trying to battle, loses possession, but that's been so often the case in this game. You lose it, you're only losing it for a second or two, and then you get that opportunity back. Chubb trying to find some space in there, and so now Richland on the back foot trying to figure out how to prevent a 2-0 lead as the header goes back into the hands of MJ Mendez. So Richland find Abby Harris, able to keep possession with Taylor, or not Taylor, that's the older sister, Nicole Mills, battling. Now they get it up to Arsanto. Work things around that triangle pattern you see so often in soccer. Keep that triangle look. Harris will toss it in, and if whistle blows, it'll be Espindola on the foul, and Richland will make a substitution. No, or was that the indication that it was their stoppage for the substitution?
I think we have a foul, and then looks like Jordan Davis coming in for Jocelyn Madison.
So now Elfring will try to serve it in from some distance on the right-hand side, and not happy with herself on that one. So it will be a Chiawana goal kick. As another Richland substitution will come in. Addie Tensmeyer ready. Kick this one away. And she'll start things short. You have to be precise when you do that, because you're essentially giving potentially the other team an opportunity. And that was
close to a handball there.
Yeah, it was really early grab on the sideline. Richland's going to end up with it after the throw and then lose possession. The Chiawana fans trying to get their team potentially a clinching goal as we roll under just about 14 minutes, almost 14 minutes gone here in this first half. But Richland again, nice job there by Kukas. Trying to find that left side. He's looking at Lindley down there, but I couldn't connect, so they'll back things up. But Richland does maintain possession. Now they'll get to the outside. Lindley crossing over. Gets it in, but I think it might be partially deflected off a shoulder or something, and easy pickings for Addie Tensmeyer.
And that's that run I was talking about from the outside backs when Arroyo and Lindley changed the numbers in the midfield. Extra attacking player forward. It makes Chubb and Anderson track back. We asked the question if they want to track back because Chubb's intercepted it here.
Yeah, Sawyer Chubb, nice pass to Lindsay Sanchez. Can she get there in time? She's going to have to slow up, maybe try to find a cross. Well defended there by the Richland Bombers. Well, to back everything up. Now Miley Anderson going from some distance. MJ Mendez The initial just sort of block and didn't notice out of the side of her eye. She had a royal or navy blue jersey bearing down on her, so she was able to collect it, get that stopped.
I like that decision by Sanchez, though, when she was in the corner, couldn't quite wrap her foot around it for the cross, and turned it back and tried to play a bit as a through ball comes in here, but Mendez will sweep it up.
And that pace on these through balls, especially the high bouncing through balls, there isn't enough friction to get them to slow down significantly. And Lindley will toss it up. Well collected there. Richland, Kieran Elfring crosses the field now to Arroyo on the right-hand side. Bill Arroyo into the middle. Elfring, and Richland's getting something going here. And a double team comes the way of Lauren Lindley. Well defended, and Chiawana able to knock it out of bounds, but not before Richland had something going there.
Elfring covering a lot of ground there, winning that ball, coming 40 yards back into her midfield, spraying it out wide for Arroyo, finding Lindley on the far side, and decent little attack here by Richland.
Now Lindley will throw it in. Ball, though, ends up on the feet of Chiawana. Misconnection there, but no harm necessarily for Chiawana as Chubb will toss it up. And now Miley Anderson one-on-one with the goalie.
Oh.
Can they stop it? Oh, what a great hustle by Richland to get back. As Miley Anderson just touched it, gets it there. What a great job. Hannah McCall gets back, closing the door. Keeps it 1-0.
Inches from 2-0. Great effort there by McCall to track that down. Clever by Anderson, just slipping it by the goalkeeper, the on-rushing Mendez.
So it's a corner kick now for Chiawana. They're all looking at it, almost like far side. The ball will come in low and goal. Chiawana. Miley
Looks like
Anderson to Nicole Mills. Little crossover for old number 11 on Chiawana.
He called it pre-kick there, kind of a crashing runs from Chiawana here, maybe deflected off the Richland player as well, but Mills, like any true goal scorer, will definitely claim it. They all count the same.
Yeah, no, and that was a great job because they started on the far side and it didn't run straight at the goal. They ran at an angle, and that allowed them to come and get the ball a little bit sooner. And
yeah, you're just looking for a little deflection there. When it's hit with pace, you can just more deflect the ball in instead of having to get a clean strike on it. And 2-0 here, Chiawana, with 22 minutes left, 22 and a half minutes left.
That becomes a pretty tough hill to climb if you're the Richland Bombers. So now, how do things change if you're Justin Almquist?
It's time to definitely start probably taking some chances forward. It will expose you in the back, leave yourselves open to counters, but and Chiawana's got pace for that as well, obviously, so they'll enjoy more space. But yeah, definitely going to have to start throwing more things forward and maybe keep your wingers up higher, play more as true forwards, and give Elfring some more support, who's 1v2, 1v3 a lot of the time up here, and just take some more chances.
In fact, Richland's got 5 up towards the attacking side of the field now. And Kuka's trying to get over there and get a steal, and it's going to be a Richland throw out of all of it. Boy, how important would it be for the Bombers to just score one here quickly? Get one something fast. Chiawana's up 2. And now the time on the side of the Riverhawks. Hustling back Abby Harris. That ball taken back by Miley Anderson. Now she's going to try to find Bailey, but it's collected by McCall. So Richland, they're attacking quickly now. Finding Elfring down the right-hand side. She's got 2 defenders with her. So she's going to look, find something, and it'll go out of bounds for a goal or a corner kick.
Good tackle by Amaya Garcia-Thompson there. Had to lunge in and block the service.
So now an opportunity for Richland off a set piece. Chiawana just scored off of one. It'll be Elfring serving it. Gets it in to the middle. And Chiawana able to clear it. Miley Anderson finding Bailey Anderson, and there's a whole bunch of open space towards the middle of the field. And Bailey just going to try to keep it herself, loses control of the ball. That was probably going to lock things up if she could have seen across the way Miley and Courtney Sawyer Chubb. Good effort there, too, from Marissa Upton. Now Miley Anderson in the middle. Right foot. Mendez there with the stop.
Good strike, good safe hands by Mendez, no rebound.
Less than 20 minutes remain. That's Chiawana. Mercy Suarez, haven't seen much of her out there. She's out there, number 10. Or Chiawana. Now Kukas, again, quickly looking to attack for Richland. Drops it off, and there was a miscommunication there. As Suarez collected for the Riverhawks and booted forward. Out of bounds for a Richland throw. These two met about a month or so ago over at Bomber Field. Richland won that one in double OT. No scores on either side.
And it might be confusing for the viewers out here because we mentioned undefeated, undefeated, undefeated. We are talking in the MCC play.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Chiawana did beat Richland earlier in non-conference play.
Yeah,
at Richland.
It's kind of a weird thing where, yeah, when Richland won, it was not the way the MCC works now with Sage U coming in, and they're sort of grouping teams together. And if you play a team more than once, only the second game counts towards league standings. But if you play them only once, that's the game that counts. You might play some schools twice. You might play some schools only once. And they're trying to group it so that you play the schools that are about your quality, your level, as much as possible. As Madison will try to go from plenty of distance, but not able to find it from about 40 yards out.
It's going to be tough to beat Tensmeyer from that distance for sure.
But that's what when you look at it, it's a little bit odd. The standings, if you see them, Richland won, but they didn't. It wasn't considered a league game, so it is a bit odd. So that's why this one is much more so potentially for an MCC title than essentially. But we would have split it, and then you go to goal differential and all kinds of other stuff. But none of that matters at this point. It's just, can Richland score two to try to even this one up, send it to OT? Kukas. Or no, not Kukas, sorry, that's Thani down the left-hand side. Well defended by Addie Bunger. Richland trying to move quickly, and Thani looking for anybody to be ready. She'll have to go back. And Chiawana's going to end up with their foot on it. Miley Anderson down the right-hand side for Sawyer Chubb. Into the center, and that's going to get past Bailey. I don't know if that would have been an offsides call. Anyways, It would have been very close. I looked up, and 17 was beyond everybody. So MJ Mendez. Boot this one down the right-hand side. She finds Abby Harris. And now Bailey almost was going to have a pretty clean opportunity. As Lindsay Sanchez will have the whistle blown on her, and it'll be a free kick for Richland. Just over 16 remaining, plus a little bit of stoppage time. Now booted, trying again. This is where you start to serve things and just, it becomes a little bit more. I'm going to go deep and hope that bounces sort of work our way. It's hard enough scoring once, trying to score twice in such a short period of time. Bailey Anderson has it. Richland, though, able to stop possession. Now Espindola down the left side for the Riverhawks. Trying to split Arroyo. Almost did. But Richland able to maintain possession. Bombers looking better in the second half, but so does Chiawana. Both wanted to get into the game, I guess, a little bit. And the Riverhawks starting to dominate the time of possession and field position. A goal kick for MJ Mendez. The head official will blow a whistle, stop play, and go over and get something from the Chiawana bench. Either promise to behave or water, I'm not sure.
Slap on the wrist.
As you can see here, wander over there. I feel like thumbs up there means you're not going to do that again, right? You're going to behave? You're good? You're going to behave? All right. That's what I want to hear.
A lot of times it might be, I mean, who knows who said what? We can't hear from here, obviously, but might have been a player, might have been a, but the head coach gets to talking to.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Sam Nunez was the one that got the conversation. There's Jocelyn Madison. Now, they don't have numbers, but they potentially could have some space, and then nicely defended.
Yeah, good read, good anticipation by Garcia Thompson there. Jumped that ball.
Giovanna Torres throwing it in for Richland. Karen Elfring trying to be the attacker. To Kukas on the left-hand side. She was trying to out-muscle Addie Bunger for it, but not able to do so. And now Richland battling up a little further away from goal. Now change position of the field as it'll be Bella Arroyo. Has a little bit of space down that right side. Left foot into the box. Elfring trying to get it, and that one's not gonna get a ton of juice to it. Chiawana in no hurry. It'll end up being a goal kick. I'd be curious if it would have been a throw-in from the corner if they would have tried to stop it from going out of bounds. Because I'd imagine you'd rather have the goal kick than the throw from that position. But Riverhawks get the benefit of it. It'll be the goal kick. Now Chiawana starts to not be in the biggest hurry for anything.
Couple substitutions coming. Nope, not ready. We're going to play.
So Madison gets the inbounds. The throw-in, that is. Thinking of a basketball term.
Starting soon. I saw we're covering Gonzaga here pretty soon, which is wild.
Well, I'm working on the basketball schedule. I'm going to blame that. Trying to get that all figured out for this upcoming season. Got some pretty stellar matchups, I think, going to be coming down the pike. Into the box, looking for Abby Harris. Defended, though. Now Nicole Mills. Have it go out of bounds, but it's off of Richland, so Mills will take her time. And a substitution will come in, and this is where the sub game can start to play a little bit of a... It doesn't take a lot of time, but every second, if you're thinking that way, every second is important. As Larissa Upton checks in. And then, can't quite see who that is. And that's
It's Lucy Hagler, I think, checking in for
okay.
Kugez up top.
That makes sense. I initially thought it was 11, but 17 would be a similar look. I don't think we've seen Hagler yet today.
First minutes here, coming off a ACL recovery not too long ago. Good to see her back on the field.
Yeah, get her some minutes, get her on the field. You know, she wants to be here. As Upton gets it, and it's going to take it off. They're going to try to find some space. Now Chubb's going to have it right side. She does stop it before going out of bounds. After a couple of deflections, ends up on the foot of a Richland Bomber. So just a little over 10.5 to go. The Bombers trying to get it to Elfring. Well defended there by Espindola. As you talked about, it does open up the backside just potentially for the back end to maybe, get another counter. But what's the difference between 2-0 or 3-0? You've got to take your chances. And it is a Chiawana throw. So Bailey Anderson will meander her way to the ball on that side. And she'll hand it off to Addie Bunger for the toss. Just once in high school, and I know it doesn't even hardly ever happen in professional soccer so much anymore, is I'd love to see the old run, do the old head flip thing where you...
it's still out there.
And you just...
Flip throw, yep.
The flip
throw.
throw.
Oh, yeah. It's out there.
You don't see it a ton. I don't watch enough soccer that I can have a ton of authority on that, but... This Chubb trying to take it down that right-hand side. It'll be knocked out of bounds by Torres.
It's quite the weapon as well. I don't have the... that's a broken neck waiting to happen for me if I try that, for sure.
Well, I'd imagine it's you have such momentum on the throw.
They get such snap.
You get that ball goes forever.
Yeah.
Just under 9 to go. Richland needing to score one fast if they want to try to find the equalizer in the remaining time available to them. Nicole Mills, do-si-do, getting through defenders. And
big collision there.
So Chiawana continues to be ready and able to respond to every question that Richland has asked of them. Now Arissa Upton. Miley Anderson will back heel. Gets it to Bailey. She's going to try for her own shot, and Lauren Lindley not whistled on the play. It would have been a PK. You can see right here. That's borderline lean the children, but ultimately it's the woman in yellow in the middle of the field. That's opinion is the most important.
Oop.
And then she ends up on the receiving end of an errant pass. So
good first touch.
So hand it off to Chiawana to play. Kalina Barbosa has it down the left-hand side. Side heel to Anderson, who's trying to center it, I think. But it goes into the side of the net. Over 7 remains.
Barbosa on a somewhat rare foray forward there. Did a good job of putting dangerous ball in the corner there for Anderson.
So now Richland will clear it out and starting to feel inevitable, as it were. Now, the winner of this game does not guarantee themselves an MCC title. They still have to take care of business throughout the remaining portions of the regular season. There is still the possibility that one or more teams ends up tied. 2 or more teams end up tied.
We saw Kamai can beat Richland earlier in the year, so nothing out of the question here. I think, who was it? Southridge took Chiawana to overtime. Never know. Or Richland, I think it was. Took Richland to overtime.
Chiawana last year, if I recall correctly, got into the state semifinals before bowing out of that tournament. Trying to improve on that run this year. In my almost 4 years here, I think the best I've seen is Kamayakan got to a state title game, and they lost. I've not I don't think I've seen a girls soccer state championship in my years here. So that would be a first. I've seen baseball and slow pitch softball, and well, if you want to count Royal football,
I'm sure they think it counts. Yeah.
Trying to
count it.
Basketball. Burbank was. I mean, it was in Spokane. I wasn't there for it, but that was. I mean, that was in my tenure here for basketball. Davis girls for basketball. That I was at. So I've seen my share, but not yet seen a girls soccer state championship. So that one will be centered and handled by Mendez. Under 5 to go. Of course, there's a lot of great girls soccer teams on that west side of the state. That seems to be where the bulk of the top teams live.
Yeah, right now in the top 10 for 4A, at least, you have the 8 West Side teams and 2 Eastern Washington teams. Chiawana 10th right now.
Yeah, Wenatchee 5th. That's the only other East Side team. Wenatchee have the Big 9. And then we get the whistle as Lauren Lindley and Miley Anderson going back and forth inside the box.
Good shoulder to shoulder here, and really just stepped on the ball more than anything. Oh, it's that part at the end. There you go. Yep.
But it is, just on the other side of the box. So it's a free kick. Miley Anderson. Don't know that Chiawana needs it, but feels like this is definitely a nail in the coffin if she's able to.
She might go near post here.
Find Pater. That's a heck of a curl. That's bending it. She tries to go far post. And it almost through, not quite clear. Chubb gets a chance, and so many opportunities for Chiawana, but
second goal line save here for Richland.
As Nicole Mills would have been her second.
Oh.
Lauren Lindley.
Lindley off the line.
Had to do it a second time after having a bit of a miss hit that first time. The referee sending Richland back. This is where I feel like in professional soccer you'd see them run to a corner and just stand there and try to play keep away. High school soccer, that's not usually the case. They're usually playing all the way, trying to find space. They may be a little more deliberate or not as much of a hurry as Miley Anderson. Left foot, that's going to go up and over. This clock will stop at 2 minutes, and then the time will be kept on the field the rest of the way. That's the Chiawana Riverhawks going to give Richland their first league loss of the season and take the driver's seat when it comes to an MCC title. Richland student section looking for anything, talking about basketball. That's actually going to be I don't know that anybody's beaten Richland this year on the basketball court for boys.
They're going to be stacked, aren't they?
Oh my goodness, they're going to be so good. They got to the state title last year and returned, I think, 90% of the players, including some of their best. But the Chiawana basketball team returns everybody for Chad Herron. And I'd imagine they'll be pretty excited. Those could be the 2 top teams in the MCC in 4A, if not the entire MCC for both classifications. Meanwhile here, Richland trying to get something going, some positive momentum, some positive feeling getting out of this one. Just an Almquist God. And that one will go wide. I think that was Kate Perry. And now everybody's sort of slowing down. The score likely to stay. The winning team likely not to change. And so as the Chiawana student section, the I Believe chant comes out. That's always fun, too, when you get such passionate student sections for...
Definitely. Good energy here for sure.
Well, I don't know if we want to call it a super non-traditional sport, but it is a sport that isn't football or basketball. Now, cross in the middle. That'll go over the back of the goalpost for a goal kick. And that's the second one that goes all the way back. So we have to run that down for Addie Tensmeyer. And we see Kieran Elfrin just winded. Gave it all for 80-plus minutes. That's the one thing that it's, that's one of the great thing about sports, is that sometimes you do everything you can. Work as hard as you can, and it just doesn't go your way. Clear it out again.
I think any former athlete will tell you as well, that's kind of the feeling that you missed, just with the gas tanks completely emptied, and you gave it all you had, and you competed for every single minute. And in the moment, it doesn't feel good on your body, and you can't wait for the recovery, and then you look back years later and miss those feelings.
And it was Mackenzie Thoney with an attempt right into the waiting arms of Addie Tensmeyer. And now everybody just waiting for that final whistle. Melanie Anderson. Does she feel like taking a shot at goal? She does.
Ooh.
Off the crossbar. Well, bounce to Bailey, now to Sanchez. She's going to get into the middle.
Good cross, too.
And that'll be it. Chiawana defends home turf, winning 2-0. They split the season series to only one counts as a league game. As you can see, oh, so close. So close. Only one counts as a league game, but they also scored 2 goals in the matchup between them and Richland, giving up only one that goal at Bomber Field. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what we saw here and get you ready for what's next on SWX. Thank you for watching high school girls soccer on SWX. Welcome back into Chiawana High School, where the Riverhawks win this one 2-0 to take the driver's seat big-time advantage in winning an MCC title. Jason, what did you see from this one?
Yeah, at the end of the day, Chiawana wins by 2. I think they were a little bit more effective in their possession. Richland had their moments in the second half where they calmed down and tried to play a bit, and took some chances going forward, got their outside backs going forward there in the second half as well. And a little bit frantic for me in the first half from both teams, really not terribly impressive. And I think after everyone calmed down, we had some good moments of football there, and something both teams can be proud of for stretches there in terms of possession. I think incredibly hard-working players, both sides. There's a lot of transition that asked players to make 60-yard sprints over and over and over and over, which both teams matched the other's energy on that, and there wasn't much laziness in terms of transition. So some stuff both teams can build on looking forward to the playoffs here and trying to make their state playoff runs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they wrap up this season and try to get going here for the state playoffs. There's, again, only about one more week of regular season. I was going to pull that up. And while we're doing that, though, this is a reminder that tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, you'll be able to watch Chiawana football at Kennewick. Winner of that one will remain as the undefeated team in the MCC. Saturday, it's Idaho versus Eastern Washington. And on Sunday, Gonzaga starts their preseason, their exhibition season, with the look at Northwest University. Should be fun. Ellensburg Steel Ventures looking like he's going to be healthy and ready to go. Looking ahead for these two squads, Richland and Chiawana do not play again until next Tuesday. Richland will host Kamiakin in essentially a battle for second place. That's a huge matchup there. Chiawana on the road at Hermiston. Richland plays back-to-back days. They'll play Pasco on Wednesday. Then Chiawana will host Kennewick for senior night on Thursday, October 23rd, to wrap up the regular season. I want to send a big thank you to the crew, all of them who are braving the cool temperatures. As there you can see the Richland student section still having a good time. Big thanks to all the crew and everybody for being here. And, of course, a big thanks as well to Jason Quintero. We'll see you in basketball season, man.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's do it. I'm Kevin Runtz. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night.